The Absolute Universe just keeps getting more evil. Absolute Evil number 1 from Al Ewing, we get a peek at just how bad the heroes of the Absolute Universe have it, with a cabal of villains plotting the destruction of our heroes. We see the first and possibly the last appearance of Absolute Green Arrow, a look at Absolute Hawkman, and other secrets of the Absolute Universe. So let's talk about it. Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is a place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. If you want to hear more about the Absolute DC Universe and more comics, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So arguably the most important book in the Absolute Universe so far, Absolute Evil number 1 from Al Ewing, is here. And there's a lot of hype surrounding this book because we get the appearance of Absolute Oliver Queen, we get a peek more of the actual Absolute Universe. These books have kind of been separate for a lot of things outside of a little nod here and there with certain events, whether it be the Lazarus organization, also some things. I think Absolute Flash probably has the most connective tissue, but we've even seen things in things like Absolute Green Lantern having Darkseid appear. And, this is probably the first time outside of the Free Comic Book Day special where we got to see, hey, these people know each other, particularly the villains. And we know further down the year we're going to get a crossover of Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman. But this is exciting because we already knew that this universe, similar to the Ultimate Marvel universe, is run by the villains. And it was started through Darkseid Energy. And through this issue, we see that actually the villains are kind of seeing sort of what this Darkseid Energy means, what these heroes that are coming about are, and also how do they combat this. A lot of the conversation around this book was the sort of debut of Absolute Green Arrow and the fact that he'd be going up against Jabal Slade, who's about as evil as it can get. That hype immediately dies down when you see Queen's dead body be thrown on a table by Absolute Hawkman. She was meant to highlight just how evil these people are and sort of the world that this Absolute Universe is set in, that you have these villains that run everything, but also that the history of this Absolute Universe, and it shows that some of the JSA characters like Wesley Dodds and Ted Grant, they've been taken care of throughout this history. So heroes have existed in this world, outside of Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, Martian Manhunter, and the Green Lantern. But throughout history, these villains and sort of the status quo has been able to stomp them out. And what's unique about this new wave of heroes is that they've not been easily stomped out. Batman was offered money, was not able to be taken out. Wonder Woman is still out there. The Hector Hammond has not been able to take care of the Green Lantern problem, and then Flash is still running around. And I think Absolute Green Lantern is a little weird because I think that story is so self-contained, and yes, it has like that connective tissue, but it's kind of weird that they're like, oh yeah, he's going to be a problem. And it's like, well, how do you even know he has his powers and stuff like that? Because if you read that book, which is amazing, it's kind of going to be interesting to see that character crossover. And I find it kind of cool that, yes, this is similar to the Ultimate Marvel universe where you have the Maker and his council and they divvy up all this. But I think there's just something sinister about the Absolute Universe characters like the Joker, who we still know very little about, and the fact that he's not really funny at all. And even the other people in this Absolute Evil universe do not know what he does really. I mean, I think there's like hints of it, but it's not really necessarily spelled out. And we're going to get more information about that later on in the Absolute Batman books. But what's kind of fascinating too, outside of them getting his hype about Absolute Green Arrow and then immediately killing him, is that the Justice League in this universe, and like I was like, oh yeah, like when that special dropped earlier this year, the Free Comic Book Day, I was like, oh yeah, the Absolute Justice League is going to come around, and save the day. Actually, no, the Absolute Justice League is this evil. So it's kind of like Bizarro World type thing where they're actually meeting. It's revealed at the end of this issue that they're meeting in the Hall of Justice. This version of the Hall of Justice belongs to the villains, and that Joker suggests that they should create a Absolute Justice League, and the Justice League would be composed of these villains. So I wonder if the good version of this would be called the Injustice League, which is kind of like fun and interesting, but also kind of tells you what these heroes are going up against. And it really is a special. And then at the end, we get a reveal of another character. The first time in this universe, we get a look at absolute Lex Luthor, who, funny enough, looks like he's on a farm, has his hair, has a beard. So I think there's going to be something about him that I think, like Absolute Joker, is so kind of different, but still in line with him being a huge threat in this universe. And it made me excited to dive back into some of the books. Like, I kind of fell off of Absolute Wonder Woman and Absolute Superman. I'm kind of like keeping up in like DC Infinite and stuff like that. But I think I'm definitely like, this gets me excited about diving back into it. If you're a Green Arrow fan, I apologize. What's funny is that I think DC did announce at San Diego Comic Con, hey, Absolute Green Arrow as a series is coming out. So I wonder if it's going to be like a prequel where we get like an idea of like, hey, how did Hawkman defeat him? Or maybe that's the last issue. Or maybe someone comes along and takes on that mantle. And I saw someone point out on Twitter that actually in these new alternate universes, it's not good to be the Archer in that universe. We see recently with the Ultimate Hawkeye one shot, Clint Barton doesn't have a great life. Also, in this, Green Arrow is rich, and he kind of looked very similar, and it seemed like he was kind of on the same path. So I think that should have given us a hint, like, hey, like maybe this version of him would not last because he is too much alike to his actual mainline universe counterpart. And again, not a great time to be a Green Arrow fan between his series getting canceled, this rough times for us Oliver Queen fans, and rough times for the Absolute Universe as these villains get together and plot out how to defeat the heroes. But what did you guys think? I thought it was cool. Like, it was really interesting to kind of see how these things are kind of coming together. I think that unlike the Ultimate Marvel universe, where it has the Ultimates book, which is kind of like that kind of thing that gives people that connective tissue, the Absolute DC universe doesn't have that yet. There are things in like little tidbits in each issue, but I wonder if there will be an Absolute Justice League or Absolute Justice book that kind of ties these together a little bit more. We know New York Comic Con is next week. I'll be there. I'll try to get as much information at panels and stuff like that. I'm really excited to see what year 2 of the Absolute Universe looks like, especially with how successful year 1 was. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.